welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be so exciting because it is a makeup tutorial. If you don't know, my camera has been acting all crazy and I haven't been able to film a makeup tutorial in quite some time. So I'm really excited that it's fixed, ready to go, and I can start doing holiday looks and really fun looks for you guys. Today's video is going to be a fall makeup look, and I was really inspired by just fall in general, like cozy, warm, glamorous, and this is what I came up with. I did use a new palette to me. I've only mentioned it once on my channel before, and I've never done a tutorial using it. I know a lot of people have it and have been absolutely loving it, so it is the Too Faced Stardust Vegas Nay palette. Vegas Nay is an amazing makeup artist on Instagram and just in real life, but she came up with some amazing color combinations in this palette, and I was just really inspired by it and wanted to use it and share it with you guys. So I really hope you enjoy this tutorial, and let's jump into it. Starting off with the skin, I'm going to take my MAC Strobe Cream, and I love this for adding more radiance and luminosity to the skin. It just makes everything appear a little bit brighter. I'm going to apply it on all the high points of my face and then just work it in with my clean fingertips. For my primer today, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Step 1 Hydrating Primer. I absolutely love this stuff. It really adds hydration to my skin and makes everything look extra flawless. A primer is going to create a barrier between your skin and the makeup, so everything's going to go on much smoother. For foundation, I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear Waterproof in NW15. This is my absolute favorite foundation. It's been my holy grail for the past couple of months. It's super flawless and full coverage. I'm going to dot that all over my face and then blend it out using my damp beauty blender for a very airbrushed look. And when using the beauty blender, you just want to bounce it on your skin and it's going to blend everything out beautifully. I love using the beauty blender damp because it picks up any excess product that might be sitting on top of your skin to avoid cake face. Now I'm going to conceal a few blemishes and scars I have around my mouth. I'm going to be using the MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NW15. This is a full coverage concealer. It's very creamy, so I wouldn't recommend it under the eyes, but for any blemishes, it's awesome. And I'm going to just pack that all over those areas and take the same beauty blender and blend it out. My favorite setting powder is the Rimmel Stay Matte Long Lasting Pressed Powder in the shade Translucent, and I'm going to set the outer perimeter of my face with this. So my foundation is set, but I'm leaving the center not set because I am going to be adding concealer later underneath the eyes. And the brush I'm using is the Zoeva 106 powder brush. Moving over to the eyes, I'm going to prime my lids for shadow. This is the MAC 24-Hour Eye Base, and it's great for oily eyelids as well. It really helps prevent your shadow from creasing and helps it last longer. And I always set my base with a shadow, so this is the color Chandelier from the Vegas Nay Stardust palette by Too Faced. After we are done that, we are going to do a transition color, and this is going to ensure all the other colors blend really nicely. And my favorite one is MAC Bamboo, so that is what I'm going to do today. And to buff that out, I'm using the Sigma E40 blending brush. This is really nice and fluffy, so it makes everything look super flawless and blended. You don't have to be neat with this. This is just your guideline to keep all of the other colors underneath so you don't have any harsh lines. Next up, I'm taking the color Millennial from the palette, and I'm using my Sigma E25 blending brush, and I'm going to work that in my crease, keeping it below Bamboo and running it back and forth and just buffing everything out in little circular motions. And I'm also going to run it along that tape for some more depth. I don't know why the brush changed here, but I switched brushes. They're both the Sigma E25. For my lid color, I'm now taking the shade Showgirl and my Sigma E55 flat shader, and I'm going to pack that all over my eyelid up to my crease. And you just want to keep building up this color. I was honestly super impressed with the pigmentation of it. It blended beautifully with no fallout, and it was so metallic and bronze. I just loved it. I'm going to buff out the edges so there are no harsh lines between the two using the same Sigma brush with no additional product. Now I'm taking the shade Girls Night, which is this rich, warm brown, and I'm going to focus that on the outer V of the eye and bring it about halfway in. And this is going to just add a little bit more definition to the crease, and I'm just using the same brush. And then for a straighter edge, I'm going to run it along that tape so you can kind of see that like really defined V. For any eyeshadow look, you always want to remember to build up that color and intensity. You never want to start off with a lot of product on the brush because it's going to have nowhere to go and it's going to be really hard to blend. So just build it up with little product at a time and you're going to get a really seamless look. And of course, blend everything out whenever you need to, kind of buff out any edges. Now I'm taking the jet black from the palette called Sin City and I'm going to run that along the tape and drag it into my crease, almost creating a winged liner effect. And because we didn't blend enough, I am going to buff everything out one last time because you can never blend enough, like let's be honest. And peel up that tape and we will get started on our concealer. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer in 0.5. This has been my absolute favorite. It is very hydrating, crease proof, it is full coverage. I mean, what else do you want in an under eye concealer? It hides all of the bags. And I'm going to apply that in kind of a triangular shape. And then I'm adding a little bit to the center of my forehead above my upper lip and chin, and that is because, as you can see, it's a little bit lighter, so it does serve as kind of an eye brightener slash highlight. And to buff that out, I use the Morphe G2 brush from the Gunmetals collection. It's kind of like a dome shape, and to blend it out, I honestly just press it back and forth and it buffs it out to make it look airbrushed. It's awesome. I love it. I recommend it. It's perfect. I forgot to mention why I do pressing motions. That is because it's going to prevent streaks on my face if I were to like sweep or rub. And I do like to take my beauty blender after and just kind of press out and buff out any edges because my brush doesn't always get right up in those inner corners. And this is the pointed side of the beauty blender and it's still damp. To set my under eyes, I go in with the MAC Pro Emphasize Shaping Powder. This keeps everything nice and bright. They do have a color for all skin tones, and I love this because it's meant for the under eye area and to set that area. For the lower lash line, I'm now taking the shade Girls Night and I'm pressing that along my lower lash line using the Sigma E flat definer brush. You've seen me do this a million times. I do it in all of my eye looks. I just like how it balances out the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to take the Morphe S20 Vegan Blending Brush. Actually, this is a pencil brush. Get it together. And I'm going to just buff out the edges so you'll see it kind of blending everything a little bit further down and it's looking a lot softer and not a harsh line. And feel free to skip this step. You totally don't need to smoke out the lower lash line. That's honestly preference. I'm now taking Millennial and I'm just adding a little bit more to the lower lash line so it kind of balances from the top and the bottom. For my look, I decided to do a super intense winged liner. You don't have to go this far out at all. But what I like to do is draw a line, almost having my lash line as a guideline, drawing a line straight out towards the tail of my brow, and then bringing it back down towards my lash line, almost creating like a triangle. And you are going to notice that there is a space in between and you can go ahead and fill that in. So you're kind of drawing an outline and then filling in the blanks. And as you can see, I'm just using little strokes and building it up to how I want it. And just take your time with it. It does take practice. It's not going to be easy at first, but you will get it once you get a feel for the brush and the product. And you're going to bring it all the way to the inner corner. I do have a super in-depth tutorial on how I do my winged liner. I still do it the exact same way, so I will link that down below for you to watch if you want to know kind of more in detail how I do it. And there's a reason why my eye is a little bit open, and that is because if you totally close it, your eye's going to scrunch and almost get like little creases and lines. And if you go to do your winged liner, it's not going to be smooth or straight or even. So that's why my eye is a little bit open. So we have one side done, here it is, and repeat. The products I'm using are the Inglot Gel Liner in 77. It's the blackest black that you can find, I promise you. And the Inglot 30T Bent Liner Brush. Two tight lines so my lashes appear a little bit fuller. I'm going to run my engraved PowerPoint eye pencil by MAC along that. I love this one because it doesn't get on my contacts and it's also really soft. It doesn't tug at the eye. And I'm going to go ahead and line my lower waterline with it as well. After I'm done with lining my waterline, I'm taking the color Sin City from the palette, the black, and I'm going to use the same flat definer and just press that into the color. This is going to help set the black liner and also help it be a little bit more smoky and intense. And then I'm just going to buff it out really lightly. Go ahead and add your favorite mascara. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, and I have the eyebrows done because eyebrows take so long and they're so hard to film. I'm like super close to the mirror, but I'm setting them with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, and I use the Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown on them. With the color #selfie, isn't that so cute, I'm going to highlight my brow bone. I'm going to go ahead and pop on some falsies. These are the Persian Mink Lashes by New Bounsome. I do have a 20% off coupon code. I'll link down below if you want to save some money on some mink lashes. And I'm going to go ahead and touch up the lash band with the NYC Liquid Liner because sometimes the glue doesn't dry completely clear like it's supposed to. For bronzer today, I'm using the MAC Golden Bronzer, and I love this one because if you're fair like me, a lot of bronzers turn muddy or too orange, and this one doesn't. I'm going to dust that along my hairline and on my cheeks and then around my jaw, and I'm using the Morphe M32 brush. Between bronzing, contour, and blush, I always blend everything out, and I like to use the Real Techniques blush brush. I think it diffuses all the color perfectly. To contour, my favorite shade is Harmony Blush by MAC. It's a really nice contour color if you're fair, and then if you're a little bit deeper, you could try the shade Blunt. It's perfect. And I'm using this little brush from Ulta. I bought it years ago, and it's perfect for getting a nice clean contour. You can use whatever your favorite contour brush is. You're just going to apply this to the hollows of the cheeks in upwards motions, and then blend everything out, of course. Blush today, I'm using the Rockateur blush by Benefit. It's this beautiful rose gold color, and I'm going to apply it with this Luxie blush brush on the apples of my cheeks. We are on to my favorite part, which is highlighting, because that highlight though, I'm taking the Jaclyn Hill and Becca highlighting palette for our holiday and mixing the shades Champagne Pop and Pearl. To apply that, I'm using the Duo Fiber Contour Brush by Real Techniques, and I'm applying that to the tops of my cheekbones, and I love it. Last but not least, I am setting my makeup using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, and I also added the Mario Badescu Rosewater Spray for more hydration. The lip liner I chose is Lumiere by ColourPop, and I wanted to pair it with a similar lip color, so I chose NARS Audacious Lipstick in the shade Anna. And then I opted for a glossier lip, so I topped it off with Dose of Colors Rosé. And here is the final look. Okay, so that is it for the tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it and you liked the look. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up so I know that you liked it. And let me know what your favorite palette you've been loving down below. So maybe I have that and I can do a tutorial for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!